recording this particular presentation. So what we are going to cover, I'll just show it to you. So today we'll be learning about how to set up master slide. Master slide is basically a template setting. So instead of using predefined template, how to make your own template and how quickly you can design that. The idea of making master template is that uniformly from your slide 1 to slide X, all of them follow the identical template, right? Instead that in every slide you start thinking about different colors and different fonts and different style of things. So you will be uniformly having the design of the presentation. Number 2, we are going to cover the opting for appropriate colors and text colors and background colors. So that is very, very important when you are making a slide presentation. Then we'll be learning how to add slide numbers and how to make it visible prominently. Then adding and editing text, which is one of the simplest thing which you have been doing right now also. Then how to insert clip art, inserting images and video. Then we'll be learning how to insert a table and make it very in visible form, and then embedding Google Sheet content and charts in the slide presentation. Then next we'll be learning about drawing and editing shapes. Shapes are different than drawing, right? Then making diagrams, inserting symbols, and using format options, and then using animate. That will be the last topic of the slide presentation, and then we'll move to the quiz. Okay. So I did not make anything as presentation because I'll be demonstrating each and everything live with you, right? So I'm stopping this topic slide over here, and I'll just take you to the live presentation making. So first of all, I share my screen, entire screen now. Earlier I shared only one window. Now I am sharing the entire screen with you. The difference is at that time that along with that presentation, whatever I was doing, my presentation was all the time on your screen. Now, whatever is there on my screen will be visible to you, right? The entire thing, right? So first of all, we'll go to our normal method. We'll click on the Google Apps, click on Drive. Then either you go from this route or you directly go to Google Apps and then click on Slide, right? So this is also possible. But why we take the Drive route? Because in that case, we can just think about the folder where we should be saving this. So let me look for the folder where I want to save it. So I am searching for the folder where I should save. So I found this. So this is DPS Archipuram Google Classroom 2020 folder. So I'm going to save my new slide presentation in this folder. So once I confirm that I'm in the appropriate folder, then I'll click on New. I'll click on Google Slides. And if I'm creating a slide or document or sheet in any folder which is shared with many people, it will always confirm from me whether you want to share with everyone or not. So you have to click on create and share. So by default, if that particular folder is shared with many people, it is going to be visible to all of them. Once this is done, don't forget to give a meaningful name, right? So you will be giving a meaningful name. Let's say that we are making a slide presentation training #1. So this is the name of my slideshow. Number 2, by default, it will be having a default template. So if I have title and the subtitle, and if I'll go to the new slide, I'll be having a template in which will be having title along with some paragraphs. So this is the default settings you will be getting in the Google slide. But think about if you want to make some template of your own, or you want to make some template which is already available. So these are the available template. On the side, you can see in themes, these are the available templates. Right, so you can pick up any of these templates which are available here. Right, so any of these templates can be picked up in which the color scheme and the font scheme is going to be uniformly available to you. So if you don't like any of these themes, then you can make your own. So that is more important, because that will be having your personal touch, and that theme will not resemble with anybody else, right? So how to make that theme of your own, that is very, very important. So first of all, you'll click on slide. Just notice this is our top menu. In the top menu, you will be having file, edit, view, insert, format, and then you have an option as slide. So when you click on slide, you will find one option as edit master. Just see, from the top menu, we move to the slide menu. In slide menu, we found edit master as one of the options. So when we'll click on edit master, here we can either give a design to master slide, or for different layouts, we decide on different color scheme and font scheme. Ideal will be you just click, by default your this slide will be selected. So you have to click on the top slide, which is the master slide. You change the design for this master slide and it will impact all these layouts, right? And these layouts are heading and subheading, then you have only heading, and then you have heading and some points under that, heading and two sets of points over there. So all these are going to be changed if you just change the master slide. So in the master slide, let's assume we are going to change these fonts. We carry forward. So basically I was at how to change the font of all the slides. So first of all, we'll select the master, we'll select the heading, and we'll press the shift button on the keyboard. We'll click on the lower part of the slide where the content is there. Once both of them are selected together, we'll click on the font. Let's say we are selecting Trebuchet font over here. Once this is done, now if you want only the heading to be in the in bold letters, so you can select this separately and then make it bold. Suppose you want heading to be in some different color, let's say maroon color. So let's take maroon color, right? So in all the slides which you will be making, all of them will be having title of the slide with the red color in bold Trebuchet, and the content will be like this. Now, as you see on the top area, there is more space. So we can shift this little bit above so that in all the slide by default, it will take more space. We'll shift this also little bit above. You must have noticed when we are using these slide presentations in Meet, the lower portion of the slide is covered with our share button. So either you click on hide and you show it, or you just simply make your content above this area, right? So that is one very important point you should be careful about, because when you are sharing the slide on Meet, the lower portion is normally covered by your message which says meet.google.com is sharing your screen and a blue colored button. So you will be taking care that at the bottom there is no content. So it will not be hidden by that button, right? So after doing this, now you want, suppose each slide should be numbered. Okay. So for keeping your each slide with a slide number, you have to go in slide once again. Sorry. Insert, and then you will click on insert and you'll move down and you'll find one option as slide numbers. So I'm repeating what I did. I'll click on insert, right? Insert is on the top menu. So after clicking on insert, I'll move my mouse pointer below and I'll click on slide numbers. When I click on slide numbers, as soon as I click on it, it will immediately switch it on. So it should be on if you want all the slide numbers to appear automatically, right? If you keep it off, slide numbers will not be visible. In that case, manually you have to put the slide number, right? So if you want the automated slide numbers, you have to keep this on. And normally on the very first slide, you don't want the number to appear. So you can just click on skip title slide. After doing this, you just have to click on apply. Once you do this, the slide number which you are seeing here at the bottom in the template, this will start appearing in various slides. So first of all, let's go and see whether these slide numbers are coming or not. So I'll just click on second slide, and on the second slide at the bottom, this small number is displayed, right? By default, the size of the slide number will be like this. We don't want our slide numbers to be displayed like this. They should be prominently visible. So I'll go back in the slide, click on slide, edit master, click on master, and then click in the area where I found the slide number got displayed. When I click it, a text box will appear here. When this text box is highlighted, you will change the font of this text box. Let's say again Trebuchet, and the size of this, if I'm making as 18, I want this to be in bold. So I'll make it bold, and then I want this with the dark background because we were using maroon as the color in the heading. So let's make use of the same color so that it will match with the heading, and then change the color of text as white so that it will appear over there, and then make it center. So what all activities we did with the page number, slide number area, we selected, then we change the font, change the size, change it to bold, and then made the color settings matching with the layout, right? So in the layout, we are keeping the heading as red. So the same color I am picking up over here, right? Now, if you want to make it little fancy, you can just click on format options, click on drop shadow, and put a little bit of drop shadow over there by shifting the angle to 60 degree. 60 degree is the best angle in which you will be getting the bottom right image of the shadow, right? So increase the distance little bit, so you will see it looking like a 3D, right? So you can see it is looking like a 3D. Once this is set, now you can just click on any of the slide and you are now ready to use this template of your own. In template, if you want to just make some more changes, like on all the slides you want to display some symbol or some of your trademark symbol. Let's assume you have something as some, maybe we pick up this and place it on top here. On all slides, you will see this in the corner. This is entirely up to you whether you want this or not. So let's make it a little different color. This colors you can choose on your own. Let's make it transparent. So in all the slides, this will be visible. Right. This is just to add your own component in your slide. So in every slide, you can put something different so that your slides are different from the standard template. So this is my template. In this template, suppose I am saying that my main title is slide presentation, and it is a quick guide. Now I move to next slide. Next slide is already there with the same color settings, right? So let's put it here, adding text is my first content, right? Here I am writing font size, sorry, font style, font color. Then I have to decide whether I want to keep it right aligned, left aligned, so alignment of the text. That is left, right, center, justify. These are the alignment options. So how we do that? We just select the text and then go to this area and I select left, center, right, and justify. You have vertical alignment also available here. So you want the inside the text box. If you want top alignment, you will click on this. Middle alignment, you'll be clicking on this. Bottom alignment, you'll be clicking on this. Right. So this is all possible here. Then what else you will be able to do with text? You can have lists, numbered or bulleted. So this is, you already know that numbering and bulleting is possible, right? Then what else you can do with the text? You can make use of format options with the text. Also, just like I did with shapes, we can try format options with text also. I'll just show you the example. Suppose this is the text and I want to make it bigger and bold, and then I want to use a font which is going to give me the gravity. Let's say this is the font I have selected, and let's change the font color just to see the different kind of look. So let's say it is orange color, and I want to put some format options with only with this particular text. So I'll click on format options, drop shadow, and then you can see shadow is already visible over there. So again, I'll come back to 60 degrees so that it will be at the bottom and the towards right hand side a little bit. So you can see the entire text set here is having little bit of, when you will see the presentation, you will be able to make out more clearly that it has little bit of embossed effect. It is looking as if it is coming out of the thing. So this is possible. Let's revert this, and if you don't want this to be applied on text, you can apply this on the entire text box also. Right now it is applied on text. If I color this, right now my text box is transparent. How you can come to know it is transparent? If I move it up, you can see it is not actually deleting my adding text. If I move it on this side, it is not impacting the background. So on top of background, it is coming, right? So that means my text box is right now transparent, and that is why my 3D effect with the help of format options is impacting the text. If I change the color of this text box to white, just see the change what will happen. Now, the same impact which was there on the text, now it is applied on my text box. Just see, if I increase the distance, it is going to be like this. Now it is not applied on text. Now it is applied on my table. Box, text box. So if I blur it a little bit, so it will have the better effect. So if I present it now, you can see the effect is going to be like this. And as you see, the top line and side line is not visible. And if you think that as a design part, you want that to appear, then you simply select this text box once again, change the color of the line, right? so that it will start with showing up the boundary, right? So now if I go to present, you will see the impact. You see the top line is visible, side line is visible, and at the bottom there is a 3D effect of the text box. So the difference between the earlier effect and this effect is that time it was applied on the text, now it is applied on the entire text box, right? So if I remove the color and go to the transparent, again that effect will be applied on the text, right? So just see, if I change it to white, it will change. Or if you don't want this to be highlighted with the help of boundary color, if I keep the transparency here and I want this particular box to be highlighted little differently, I'll just show you that also. Suppose I choose a very light cream color over here. So I'll just go to custom and then pick up a shade which is going to be close to cream. So I select somewhere here and I move it little on this side. I have to pick up cream. Yes. Now this is the cream color. Now, if I say OK, now just see that box is itself highlighted. So it is entirely up to you whether you want the boundary to be shown with a different color or you want the box to itself to be highlighted. That is possible both ways, right? So it entirely depends on what kind of design aspect you have for your presentation in mind, right? So this is one thing. Now let's move to the next slide. When we pick up the next slide, we'll again go to slide and new slide. Okay, this is one option of creating a new slide. The second option is, suppose I have a similar content on the next slide. I just need to change the text, but I want the design which I have created as it is to appear in my next slide. So what I will be doing, I'll be just clicking on that slide for which a duplicate is required to be created. I'll just go to slide and I click on duplicate slide. And this time what will happen? Identical slide will be created and here I can change the content. Okay, so let's see in this what kind of content I am changing. So let's assume we want to insert objects in the slide. Now what kind of objects you can insert in the slide? You can insert an image. What else you can insert? You can insert a shape. What else you can insert? You can insert video. What else you can insert? You can insert audio. What else? You can insert any link. What else you can insert? Now suppose I don't want this to be in orange color. I want to continue with this. So I'll press enter here next to this and I'll be catching up the previous text, right? So catching up the format of the previous text. So here I would like to add something which is going to be table from the Google Sheet or start from the Google Sheet. That is also possible. Now, let me make it half so that we can see one by one each example on this side, right? So this is our half portion. I have reduced it like this. And then, first of all, let's see how we insert an image. Now, what are the different ways I can insert an image? One way is I just click here, click on the insert image, upload from computer if I already have that on my hard disk, or search from the web. So I don't have in my hard disk, I don't have in my drive, I have to look for it. So I'll click on search from the web. So when I click on search the web, I'll have a side panel. On the side panel, you will be having Google Images. So here, suppose I want to look for an image, which is basically an image of house, right? So I'll just type house and then click over here. I'll be having various designs of house, right? So from my academic angle, I have to see I want the house for what purpose. Suppose I'm teaching shelter as one of the chapters. So I'll just pick up this and insert this inside this. So this is creating an image, and you can see the image is appeared here, right? Once this image appeared here, you can further customize this image. Let me close this side panel and then see what else I can do with this image. So I'll close all these options and then click on this image and click on format options. When I click on format options, I'll be having several things over here. I can recolor my image, and for different kind of images, we'll be having different kind of color settings available. Right now, for this house, I have these kind of available settings, color settings. So if I want this image to look like a black and white image, either this one or this one, I'll just pick that from there. Now this image is completely different than what we have picked up from there. And then I can further adjust it. Its transparency I can change. If I want this little bit transparent, if I want the brightness to increase, I can do that. See, it is ultra bright and this is darker shade, right? So this is entirely in your control. You can change the contrast of the image. You can see this looks little better and more impactful. So just do that settings appropriately as desired. Apart from this color, this is the recolor, this is adjustment. You can have drop shadow here also. As it is a transparent image, just see the impact of drop shadow in this particular image so that it will look like a 3D image, right? Just see, we are changing the angle to 60 degree once again. 60 is the best angle in which you can have the shadow downwards as well as towards the right side. Let me increase the distance and you can see this image is looking as if it is coming out of the page. Just look at the image in the slideshow. Just see, this image is looking as if it is above this particular page. Okay, so just remember the kind of picture which we inserted, and after that we customized it according to our need. Now the question is, do I need to always use this entire image? You may be requiring a small portion of this image. What you will do in that case? Let's keep this slide as it is and let's make a copy of this, and in that copy we will do the editing part, right? So just look at this image, and I am interested in only the portion which is on the side of the house. So what I will do after selecting this, I'll just click over here, and here is my cropping tools, right? I can crop in any shape. If I want a cropping based on a circle, rectangle, triangle, I can select that shape and I can crop in that particular shape. So I am taking the oval shape from here. Now, once I select the oval shape, I am allowed to crop it in the circular way. Just notice I am interested in seeing the only front part of this house. So I'll just adjust my pointers to that particular part. Let's reduce it. I'm interested in only this area, only in this area. Once this selection is done by you, you will click on crop. Just see only the front area visible to you, and that image has been cropped only to show you that portion, right? Look at the original image and look at this image which we have cropped, right? In this also, if I am not satisfied with the shape and I want to change the shape to something else, now I am going to pick up this particular shape, which is trapezium shape. So it is going to change it to that. If I am interested in picking up some other shape, I'll again go back and I'll pick up arrow shape. Just see, this is the direction of the house. And if I want to again increase the area of my cropping, I can go back and increase the area of my cropping, sorry, by moving this crop guide above. So if I'll move to crop, it will be a bigger portion picked up from the house than the earlier one, right? So this is one of the way by which you can edit your image. So originally you have picked up image in any form, and when you are searching from the for the image within the Google slide, it gives you mostly those images which do not have any copyright issues. They can be reused for the academic purpose at any point of time, right? So let's move to the next, where we talk about shapes, right? So in the next slide, let's make a duplicate copy of this slide and remove the image from this slide. Now we want shapes to come, right? Now, if I want this to be a scrolling kind of thing, in this, we were discussing about image. So let's make a pointer over here. So I'm picking up a rounded corner rectangle pointer. So I'll select this as image. It will look like a menu is happening. So I have selected this, make it transparent, and then change the color, maroon color, and then make it within this. And the same thing I want with little shadow effect, so that it will look like a 3D pointer. So I have increased the shadow effect. And then in the next screen also, we were discussing about image. So I'll just copy this with the help of Control-C, move to the next slide, and Control-V, I'll paste. It will be pasted exactly at the same place without any movement. And then I move to the next slide. And here, as we are discussing about shape, I'll move this menu to this place with the help of arrow key. That's it. So here, when you are learning about shape, what all we should be doing. In shape, we have many shapes available, and best thing is, in Google, all the shapes are vectors. These are not static images. These are all vectors. I'll tell you the difference between image, normal image, which is a raw image, and a vector. Vector can be customized to at any size and any level. I'll just show you the customization possibilities, right? So let us assume we are picking up one of the shape here, and that shape is, let's say, assume this is arrow. Now, as it is a vector image, I can just change the size, change the arrow size, change the width of this at any point of time, right? Change the color. Change the boundary line of this. Let's say it is 3 size and I want the boundary line to be differently colored. Let's assume it is green color. So it is going to look like this. And if I want this also to have the 3D effect, I can just click on drop shadow and I can decrease the angle to 60 and increase the distance so that it looks like a 3D arrow. And later on also, if we want to reshape it as it is not looking good, I can reshape it to the way we want. Let's remove this and put it somewhere here. So this is arrow. I'll show you some more shapes where the restructuring is possible. Let me show you this shape. In this shape, you can see there are 2 yellow pointers. So yellow pointers show that this is customizable, right? So if I click on this yellow pointer, I can reshape this. Just see. If I change it to this, increase it on this side, this is customizable. I can resize it on this side, and it is completely different than what originally I picked up from there. Let's change the color to the color of this. Maroon is too much, so let's change it to some other color. So let's say we pick up blue color, and we don't want any enclosure
line for this. So I removed that, and then I can just drop shadow a little bit so that a 3D impact comes on this. Increase the distance so that it looks like this. Okay. So if you present it, it will look like this. Just see. Now, apart from this, there are many more symbols here, many more shapes here. I want to say something about this blue area. So I will just pick up some rounded rectangle call out, and I'll say that I want to point out this area and I want to say something over here. So I have taken a call out and put an arrow, and then I don't want any fill color for this. I want a boundary for this. So boundary, suppose this color, and I want thicker boundary. I'll increase the size to 4. And inside this, if I want something to be written, we'll be writing here, this is playground or stage. This is our stage, and we are pointing it out, changing the color to the default font, and making it as part of center. Okay, so this becomes like this. If you want this to be white color, you can just change the color to white like this. If you want this also to have the 3D effect, you can just change the angle, increase the distance, increase the blur, and then you can see this also coming as on top of this. Next is video. How you insert a video inside this. So let's make a copy of this once again, because I want the similar kind of slide on the next one. And here we don't want this, here we don't want this, here we don't want this, we remove this. We move this shape to video. How to insert video? So we'll just go to insert, click on video. Now, there are two ways we can insert a video. Either we have a URL or we have Google Drive content of video, right? So if you don't have URL, you don't have Google Drive content as video, you want to look for it, then you have a YouTube search available here itself. So let's say teaching about shelter. So look for a video which matches your content. And it is always advisable whenever you are using any video, you see it yourself first and then you insert. Do not insert any video without seeing it, because sometimes in the beginning the content is different and at the end the content is different. So let's pick up some video which makes sense here. These are all American shelters. Okay, building primitive shelter. So let's insert this. This video appears here, and you can resize this video in the way you want. And before you make sure that it is going to be your video to be used in the classroom, you play it, see it fully from beginning to end, and then only you leave it here. And in this, the best thing is, if you don't like the content at the end, you can just change the timing so that it will stop at that particular point only. So suppose I want to just see this particular particular video up to 2 minutes only. Okay, so I know that after that content is not relevant to my course. And in the beginning also, I don't think my first 30 seconds has anything to do with my content. So I can set it like this, so that at the time when I'll be presenting from that point to that point only.
Hi guys, my name is Lily, and today I'm at a different forest.
Okay.
I'm at my parkout location number 4, and here you can see an old shelter that I have built. The shelter is pretty cool, but now it's time to...
Okay, so this is the way you can insert a video. Is there any question here? Somebody is
Sir,
unmuted.
can you explain this inserting of the video once again, sir?
Okay, let's remove it first. Let's remove it first. So I just selected, remove it from here. First, I have to pause, and then I have to remove this from here. So I have.
Okay, I just have found this oak tree, which is lying down.
So I removed this video. The slide was like this in the beginning. So what I did, I went in the insert, clicked on video. Once I clicked on video, I had 3 options here. Out of them, 2 of them are only when you are having some video available in the Google Drive in the MP4 format, or you already have some URL on which the video is already available. If not so, then you will be searching from the YouTube. You will be writing the topic most appropriately as you want, right? So you have to spell out exactly what you're looking for. And once you put the topic, you have to click on search. And after you click search, you will be finding many options. Keep scrolling down till you find the appropriate video for you. And even if you find, I will suggest that you always look for the video which is most appropriately suited for the age group you are discussing this topic with. So once you have inserted, the best thing is here you can customize this timing on your own. You can just click on this end at, and you can just set it to 2 minutes. So only first 2 minutes, if it is relevant to you, just set it to 2 minutes and then leave it like this, so that when you will be presenting this particular video, this video will stop at 2 minutes only, right? And you can also, if you don't want to click on the play button, you can just click on here, auto play when presenting. So as soon as this particular slide will appear in front of them, this will start playing. Obviously, when you will be playing such kind of video, you would like this to be on the full screen. So you can just increase the size and place it to the full screen. I will not suggest you to horizontally stretching it. Otherwise, the video will go out of proportion, because all the videos are meant for different proportion. So do not distort the proportion. Leave it to the maximum, whatever fits in your screen. So right now it is fitting in my screen. But suppose it is part of your content and on the side you want to keep some text, so you can keep it to the smaller size. But this you do only when you think that video will be appropriately visible to your students, and accordingly you will be taking care of this. So this is over. So video you can insert from Drive, insert from a link, you can insert directly from the YouTube, and you can have your own video also inserted here. How you will be inserting your own video? Either it is part of your Drive, or you have uploaded it on your own YouTube channel. And your YouTube channel is not required to be created by you. It is part of your Gmail account as well as your dpsrkp.net account. So you don't have to bother about that you have to create a separate account. Once you have the ownership of a Gmail account, or you have ownership of a dpsrkp.net account, it automatically means that you are having your own channel. It is just that you have to go to youtube.com and upload your video. You can keep that video completely private if you want. You can keep your video unlisted if you want. You can keep your video public if you want. I'll tell you the difference between keeping it private and keeping it unlisted. What does it mean? When you're keeping it private, only you can see and only those can see who has the link. If you're keeping it unlisted, if someone is looking for a video which is similar to your content, then they will not be able to find your video in the Google search, right? Public means if someone is looking for a video which is matching with your topic, it is going to be visible to them, right? So it is entirely up to you. Uploading on YouTube does not mean that it will become viral and it will become public. It is completely in your own control. What do you want with that video, right? So this is the video part of it. Now we move to the next part. So we just duplicate this slide once again, and then now we move this pointer to audio and remove this video from here. So in my earlier slide, we have the video, and in this slide, we'll be talking about audio only. Suppose you have some voice of tiger or lion, integral part of your content. At any point of time you want to play that, or you have your own voice which already recorded in a different rhythm. So English teachers can very well do that in the some play mode they have recorded their voice, and then later on in their own lesson, if they want to integrate that voice, they can integrate that voice. And for that, once again, we'll be clicking on insert and we'll be clicking on audio. Now here you can keep your own audios in your Google Drive. You can pick up something from the shared drive also. You can pick up something from shared with me, right? So from anywhere you can pick this video from, right? So here you will not be having an option of audio coming from the link. Okay, so that is possible. So if you have recorded some audio for the entire presentation of yours and you want to give it in the classroom, you can make use of that here. So let me, I don't know, what is it? Let me take this. I don't know what is this content. This is zero creation. Let me see if this inserts or not. It's just trying to load this audio. It is taking time, so I just skipped this. I hope you have understood how to insert an audio. I don't have any audio clip right now to play here. I'll add it later on. You have understood that if you have an audio uploaded in your Google Drive, you simply click on insert here and then click on audio and you can add that. That is one of the things you can do. Then we move to the next portion, which is more interesting and exciting for all of you. Link. If you have any link of your website and you want to jump from your presentation to that particular website, so I will suggest not to give a link of a website. Rather, try to find out most appropriate place of the website which you want to showcase. I'll just give you an example. Think about, I click on insert and link, and I'll get this kind of link here. Either you're talking about link from within your slide presentation, you want to skip from first slide to last slide, that is possible. But if you want to give an external link, and think about, we are going in some Discovery Channel link. So let's go in Discovery Channel website. And in this, suppose I'm interested in one of the portion, which is science, right? In science also, if I want to go to a particular place, that is 4 reasons why Earth is best planet. I'll click this. Now, this is the link I want to pick up from here. So have you understood the difference? If I'll just share directly discovery.com in front of them, I'll be moving in science and then I'll be moving to this particular link. Instead, I directly pick up the page link and Control C. I have picked up this link and I'll go back to my presentation and I'll say paste here, right? So this particular rectangle, when I'll click, this will be ready. And when I am presenting, how it will look like, just see. Just see, I'm moving my mouse pointer from here to here. And when I click here, I'll directly move to Discovery. And this is showing that page which I wanted to show to my children, right? So instead of going to Discovery, clicking on science, and then coming to this, I'm directly on this particular page. Because instead of copying Discovery content, if you are showing directly from here, you are not interfering anyone's copyright issues. You are making use of the same website where the content is publicly available. So you can just scroll and explain things from here directly. Once this is over, you can go back and come back to your presentation. Okay. So this is how you can insert a link. So this particular place, either you insert link like this, or you just make an object for inserting a link. I'll just show you that also. So I have, let's say this kind of button is there. And here I write Discovery link. And then increase the size. Button kind of thing. Let's say this is a green color button on which Trebuchet font, and it is white color and it is in the center. All these are normal things which we will be doing in every single shape which you will be picking up, and it should look like a button. So I'll put a drop shadow and put a drop shadow like this. Increase the distance so that it looks like a, oh, it is Discovery. And then I make this link clickable. How I'll do that? I'll go back, pick up this link, press Ctrl C, and on this button, I'll just click on Insert and click on Link. Once it is done, I'll paste this link and click on Apply. So now, when I'll be presenting my slide, it will look like this. And when I click on this button, it will take me to Discovery, right? It can be put on any kind of object, basically. The idea is, whenever you are using link, it can be attached with a text, it can be attached with an image, it can be attached with a video, it can be attached with a button kind of shape, right? So it is entirely up to you. What do you want to do in that? Next, let's move to the next slide. We are left with the last option. Let's duplicate it and scroll this link down so that we are going to add sheet or chart. Let's remove this, and as we are inserting a sheet or chart, that sheet or chart should exist. So let's make a small sheet. Let's go to New, create a sheet. And as this is going to be created in the shared folder, we have to click on Create and Share. Let's make a small table over here. So here, let's say temperature odd of 4 cities. So let's say it is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. And let's talk about the summers when we have temperature around 42, Mumbai has around 36, Chennai may be having similar to us, let's say 46 kind of thing, and Bangalore 26. And we write a heading of this as city, this as temperature, and we want to discuss about temperature in the class. So I have this Google Sheet ready with me, and I want to make use of this Google Sheet in the classroom, okay, in the presentation of ours. So what I will do, I'll just select this portion of the sheet. So how did I select? I just moved my mouse pointer on the right side, down, 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 and we have selected the entire portion, and we pressed Control and C together. So this portion of the Google Sheet is picked up from here. I go back to my slide presentation and then just click Control and V together. When I'll be doing this, there'll be two options. One is link to spreadsheet, another is paste unlinked. Think about if you want this spreadsheet to be reused with new set of data. That means today the temperature set is different. Tomorrow temperature set will be different, and maybe after a week temperature set will be different. So in that case, if you are changing the temperature in the Google Sheet, it gets reflected in your Google slide also. If you want that to happen, then you have to look for the first option, which is link to spreadsheet. Okay. So let me show you this first, and then I'll be showing you paste unlinked. So when I click on paste, what happens? Just see. This particular table has come to me, this form, and obviously this is too small to show. So I'll just increase the size of this, but the font size will not change. So what I will do, I'll change the font size manually here. Just see the temperature, and as well as that has changed. And then I'll like the top headings to be colored. I'll make the change the font color, and it should look like this with a white color of the font, background as blue, and I want this to be centered. So I'll center my headings. Just look at this. This is your table, which has been picked up directly from the Google Sheet. Now you must be wondering, tomorrow when these temperatures will change in this Google Sheet, will it impact my slide presentation? Yes, it will, because right now the spelling of Chennai is wrong. So let me first show you, if I correct it here, what will happen. So I corrected it to Chennai, the correct spelling. Now I come back to slide, and it will just give me an option to update. I'll click on update. Just see the correction done. Now Bangalore is also wrong, so I'll just make the correction in my Google Sheet. Bangalore is changed. And not only this, now today is the different, Delhi had breeze and it came down to 32. Mumbai had a very hot day, so it has went up to 41. Chennai has come down to 42, and Bangalore went cooler, right? So if I make these changes as per the today's temperature, and if I go back to my slide and click on update, I'll see these updates in this, right? So now look at the present mode. So it is going to be shown to you like this. Okay, this is only possible if you would have picked up the first option while pasting the Google Sheet content. If you would have picked up the second option, it would have been pasted as an image. So obviously that would not have got changed, right? Now let's go back to the Google Sheet and make some interesting stuff over here. So now what I am doing, I am just selecting this entire thing and making a chart out of it. So how I'll do that? I'll first of all select my data. This is my data. I selected it and I click on insert, click on chart. And when I click on chart, you will see the chart coming as line chart. I'm not interested in seeing the line chart. I'm interested in seeing either the bar chart or maybe pie chart. So let's change it to pie chart. That will be more interesting for me. I'll move down further. Yes, for me, this shape is good to show the temperature differences, but temperature parameter does not suit the pie chart. So it is better that we go back to temperature versus city like this. This is going to be the most appropriate. What I will do, I'll select this chart, the entire chart from here, press Ctrl C and go back to my slide presentation. Make a duplicate copy of this and then remove this from this particular sheet. So I deleted this and here I press Ctrl and V together. Again, it is asking, do you want the chart to be linked to the spreadsheet or you want unlinked? I want it to be linked so that tomorrow when the temperatures will change, I can update this chart too, right? In the first sheet, I demonstrated to you the content of Google Sheet. In the second one, I have demonstrated you the content of chart. Right.
Sir,
So
one thing I want to ask, sir, how did you increase the font of the chart, without selecting?
I was just waiting why no one asked the question, because I was increasing it magically, and good you asked. See, whenever you have anything to be changed, any size of the font to be changed in one go without going to the option which is displayed on top, what you can do that you can just select the entire text in one go. Okay. Once it is done, you press, you note down this, you have to press Control, Shift and greater than sign if you want to increase the font. And you keep repeating that step, Control, Shift, greater than sign. It will keep on increasing. And then if you are pressing Control, Shift and less than, you will keep on decreasing the font. So you don't use your mouse button for increasing or decreasing font. You are making use of your keyboard keys, Control, Shift and greater than for increasing the size of the font, and Control, Shift and less than for decreasing the size of the font. Once it is selected, then only it will work. If it is not selected, it will not work. Right? I hope, Shruti, it is fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, understood. Thank you.
Okay. So with this portion of our presentation is over. We will move to the next one. Okay. Now there are some more interesting stuff left. Let me pick up those. Let me duplicate this, remove this chart from here, and then update these things. So here what we are left is very interesting stuff, which is diagram. This is going to be very fascinating for most of the teachers. See what you can do with these diagrams. Number of times, anywhere you have any kind of surveys or any kind of hierarchical diagram where you are showing the president on top and then ministers and then below them district magistrates and all that kind of things. If you want to make this diagram, is going to help you a lot. So let's make it the next level, inserting the diagram. Insert diagram. Okay. And along with diagram, we'll cover diagram and word art and some more things we'll be doing. So let's take it. Diagram, and the next topic is word art, and let's move the highlighted portion from here. This was linked, we did not unlink it, so we are going to do okay. And then I'll remove these options as we have already covered in the previous slides. And let's reduce the size of this menu of ours. Yes, now we are ready. So see the most interesting thing now. We are clicking on insert, we are clicking on diagram. As soon as we click on diagram, on the side, you will find many beautiful things which are all customizable by you, right? So whatever you want to pick up, you can pick up. So I'll start from cycle. These bio people also can use this cycle kind of thing, right? So most of the subjects will be having something like this with in their curriculum at one place or other place. So you just pick up any of these shapes. Let's pick up this one. This will help, right? And best thing is in this, the customization is possible. Just see, right now it is showing you shape with 3. You can increase it to shape with 5. It will change. So this time we are picking up the shape of 5. And let me remove the previous one. At present, both of them are there, I think. So let me select both of them and remove. Let's delete. Oh. So these boxes are left. Let me delete all of them together. Then we'll pull a shape. 3 are left. When you are deleting these different objects and you want to select them together, you have to click on one, click on shift and click on the other, click on shift and click on the other. So all 3 of them are selected and I have removed. Right? While explaining, what I do is just yes in one go. Oh. And then the last one. Okay, so I have these 5 with me. So I click over here. Now I have 5 options here, and all these are customized by you. So you can just fill it up with your own content. So I write here 1 and increase the size of 1. And this is 2. Increase the size of 2. Select and Control Shift and greater than sign. So without putting any effort, we have this shape ready-made with us, and we just used it for our own academic content. So 4, and you just increase the size of it. Idea is you can put anything which requires this kind of shape over here. So next is 5. And all these shapes have customization possible. Okay. And if you don't like these colors, suppose your green color is not suiting you, you can customize this green color also in one go. You can select all of them together and then go to fill color and change the color to something else. So let's say it is blue. So it is changed to blue, right? On top also there is some text written that also you can change as per your needs and requirement. So this is one of the diagram you have seen which is available here. I'll just show you one more interesting one. These are very common things which we keep on using in our content. So let's pick one more shape which is going to be, so let me first delete this shape. And pick up something else. So insert, go to diagram, and this time let's pick up something like this, and then change. And put on top, king, and below this, let's say here the tiger is there as the minister. We have one more minister, this cheetah. And below this, we have monkeys, cats, and rats. So you have monkey here.
Sir, can we increase the numbers here?
Yes, you can increase the number. On top, you can just
tell
see
us?
the customization, number of levels you can change.
No,
and
not the
number of-
levels. Only the number of
Yes,
boxes.
you can
in the
change.
third
You
part.
can change.
How do we do that?
Yes, you can change that. I'll just show you that also. If you want to delete one of them, you can delete one of them also.
Thank you, sir. Just tell me how to increase it, baad mein.
Okay. Okay. So we have. So suppose this is already made, and obviously you know you can change the colors, you can change the numbers. Now, just see, you have this particular portion and this portion from the shapes only, right? So if you want one more to be added here, you can just make a copy of this, Control C, Control V, another copy will be created. You can resize and fit it here, right? That is one of the way. Again, decrease the size, okay, and then make another copy of the same shape, Control C, Control V, and then attach it and drag it further. This pointer is going to be to this pointer. Just yes. So this is the way you can connect. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
at any level, you can increase, decrease. This is a ready-made shapes, but these are completely customizable, and there are different ways of doing it. This is one of the way. This is another way. This is another way. So under each of these components, you will be finding number of different ready-made options, so that you do not put in a lot of effort in making such kind of things. Okay. Then let's move to word art. Now, when and where the word art is useful, I'll tell you that also. So let's make a duplicate copy of this and then move to word art. So in word art, what all you can do, first of all, let's remove this diagram from here. See, all these are in different parts. So you can customize, delete, add any of the portion of the diagrams which you have added. Okay. So completely in your control. The way you want, it can work. Right. So we are moving to word art. Now, what is the purpose of word art? I'll tell you. Think about, you have a text. I'm just showing you where the word art is useful. Suppose I have a text. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. This is my text. If I increase or decrease the size of the font, you just notice that it uniformly changing the length and width both, length and height both, right? But I don't want that to happen. I want to increase only towards length side or only towards width side, because I want to fit it in a particular area. What I will do, instead of making a text box for this, I'll just click on Insert. I'll click on Word Art. When I click on Word Art, I'll be given an option to type that content. Suppose the same content I am talking about, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And now I press Enter. Now, best is this content is completely in your control on the length side as well as width size. So I can just fit it in a small area like this, exactly of this size, and I can control the height also. I don't have to depend on length as well as height at the same time. So it is completely in my control in one more context, that this particular text which I have typed, it is in one color only. Whereas this text which has come from the word art,
I can control its border color also. You can see all A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H have two colors in it. One is its own color and another is its border color. So I can change the border color to anything. I can change the content of the font of any color. And I can increase the width of my border like this. This is not possible in simple text. Okay, it is possible only in the word art, right? And in word art also you can have format shape. Yeah.
So do we have word art styles the way we used to have in Word?
No, actually those styles are the hindrances of the speed of internet. Whenever we are doing any kind of thing in on internet platform, we keep things basically the tools are kept in such a way that it does not become hindrance on the speed of the internet. Okay, so here you have border, here you
Okay, sir.
have
Thank you.
resizing of the content, right? And most of the cloud tools do not have those kind of features. Okay?
Sir,
However,
can I ask?
however, you have format options attached with this also. You can have a drop shadow so that you have similar kind of effect created on your own. Just see. You can just have similar kind of effect created by you instead of making use of presets. Okay. Yeah, there was another question.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask in the diagrams part, are spherical mirror shapes and spherical lenses also available?
Not really, but you can create them with the help of the shapes available here, right? So all these can be created with the help of these shapes.
Thank
Okay,
you,
these
sir.
shapes will help you in creating any kind of diagrams.
Okay, thank you.
Right now, when you're yeah.
If I want to invert these into lateral inversion or in the symmetry form, these alphabets, can I do that?
Yes. You want a impression of this in
Ambulance is written in the on the ambulance in the just inverted so that it is seen in the mirror laterally, the mirror images.
okay, mirror images you want? You want such kind of thing?
Okay.
This is what you wanted?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, not
Yes.
only this, you can have inverted from other side also. Okay, this is what you wanted, right? Was it Sohini?
No, Rituraj, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Is it clear?
How you did, sir? So how ये कैसे करना है sir ये?
ये देखिए ऊपर एक टॉगल पॉइंट है, इसको हमने क्लिक किया यहाँ पे. अब हमने अपने माउस को नीचे की तरफ किया, जैसे जैसे हम करते जाएंगे ये ठीक इमेज का उल्टा बन जाएगा. और अब इस साइड से इस साइड करना है तो ये वाले टॉगल पॉइंट को पकड़ेंगे और माउस को इस साइड धीरे धीरे करके ले जाएंगे और फिर जब हम दूसरी तरफ लेके आएंगे तो ये उल्टा हो जाएगा. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So basically you have to look at the toggle point and click on the toggle point, move your mouse downwards, left side, leftwards, rightwards to change the inverted image you want. Okay. I hope this makes it clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All this what I taught you till now is only for presentation purpose. Now, suppose on the spot, when you are asking questions and you don't want to show the answer before their response comes to you. In that case, you would like the first part to be displayed. The first part to be displayed and then answer to be displayed once their response is there with you. Okay. So for that, what you will be doing, let us make a new slide for that because I don't want this to be disturbed. This will be shared with you. I move to the next slide. So I create a new slideshow and this slideshow I am going to make from the concept in which you are showing the question first and then showing the answer to the child on the same slide. So I start with a presentation. It is a new presentation. In this, let's call this presentation as Q&A, question and answer.
Okay. And I'm not going to invest much time in the edit master. I'll just change the font to blue color. But first of all, let me select master. It will be a quick revision for you. Master, then select this part, and then go to font, select Trebuchet, and this time if I want to have the blue color headings, so it is going to be blue color selected by me, and I want it bold, and I want my slide numbers to be displayed in maybe blue color now with white text on it, and it will not appear unless until I make it of good size around 18 and make it center. Still it will not appear because I have not started my slide numbers. Right now it is just formatting. To make it appear on the slide, I have to click on insert and then move down to slide numbers. Then only it will appear. If you will not do this, it will not appear. So my basic settings are done, and I don't want my slide numbers to be appearing on the title slide. I apply this. Now I just come to the slide, and here we talk about Q and A. Okay. Now this is by Professor question mark. So we move to the new slide. I click on slide, I click on new slide, and new slide has this format. I want my slide to have the question answer format, so I'll just change the slide layout. And in slide layout, I want this kind of layout in which left and right sides are there. On one side, I'll be asking question. On the other side, I'll be giving answers. So find out is my question category. The height of a triangle where base is 5 and diagonal, what is it? Hypotenuse is 3, right? So this is the question, and as it is a question of one line, I can increase the size of the font, and then on this side, I'll be writing my answer. So it is supposed to be 4. If you will calculate it mathematically, the answer will be 4. But when I'll be showing this particular slide to my students, I don't want this answer to appear at the same time when I will show them the question, right? So what I will do, just see. I will just select this and cancel this all. Click on animate. Just see, animate is one of the options. I'll just repeat. It was so quick. So this is my slide in which I want find out to appear, and then this question to appear, and then this answer to appear, one after another, right? So what I did, I selected one of the portion, then I clicked on these 3 dots, I clicked on animate, and you will be having a side layout as this. I don't want find out to be coming with my click of mouse, so I'll leave that. I want this to appear first when I press enter. So I will select this, and here I'll say on click appear from somewhere. Okay, appear. Okay. So for this, we have selected appear. And then for this, we want on click appear. And as far as find out is concerned, will be by default displayed. So just see what happens when I run this. Wait, I applied on wrong. So this is not supposed to be. This is by default appearing. So on this, I want a setting. So I'll say add animation, and I'll say appear. After this, I want the answer to be added. So I'll say add animation, and then I'll say on click appear. So on click appear for this one, and for the second one, on click appear, and for the third one, add animation. We have to add animation, to scroll down, and then you say appear. So every enter key, I have to make things appear on screen. Now, which will come first and which will come later will be decision of this order. Just see, find is the first thing coming in, the triangle is coming the second, and 4 is coming as the third. If you want this 4 to come before, I'll just move it above. But I want this to be later, so I'll move it down. Okay, so I'll just move it down. Somehow remove the 4. So add animation, and then I on click to scroll it down, change it to appear. So right now the order is first find will come, then question will come, and then the answer will come. So let's see how it appears. So right now there is a blank side. So I click on enter. When I click on enter, find out will come. Now I ask question. Okay, tell me the height of a triangle where base is 5 and hypotenuse is 3. What will be the height? So now children are answering. Once they answer, I'll just show my result to them. Right. So this is how you will set. Now, second time, you don't have to invest time in doing this. What you will do, you will just click on slide, click on duplicate, and then change the question, change this question type, and then change the answer. That's it. So you'll keep on repeating this step for making more and more questions. Now, there'll be one more question in your mind. If you have a slide appearing, how you will see their answers. So those who are using laptop for showing it, they will be having an option. I'll just show you that. Before that, I would like to take questions from everyone based on the things which we have just done. Okay. I would like to know if you have any questions with regard to what we have covered till now. No questions?
No, so understood very well.
Very good. So now I'm going to show you those who are carrying a laptop and conducting their classes. They have a beautiful option in which you can display your slides on the full screen. At the same time, you will be able to see the chat. Right? Normally what happens, if you go in the full screen, the entire screen on your own screen covers with the presentation, and you are not able to see what is happening in the chat room. Okay, so for that we have another option. You can keep Mozilla Firefox. I hope all of you know that Mozilla Firefox is another browser. So you open your account in Mozilla Firefox as well as Google Chrome at the same time, right? So I am sharing my screen and I'll show you how that happens. I am sharing my entire screen so that you can see all the activities which I am doing on my screen. Okay, right now. Just see what I am doing. Right now, we just created this particular presentation and we had 3 slides in it. I will share this slide with my personal account, which is already opened in my Mozilla Firefox. You don't have to do that because you can open the same account on Mozilla as well as Chrome at the same time. I am doing it because I don't want to waste time in logging into my account in Mozilla Firefox right now. So I have shared it on the other account, right? Once it is shared, I'll go to my Mozilla browser. Right now, as you are seeing my full screen, you can very well see what I am doing. I go to my Mozilla Firefox. I click on my inbox and let me look at the inbox. It should carry one mail from myself. Right now it is not there, so I'll just re-click on inbox so that I'll have, yes, I got a mail from myself. I'll click on open slides. Now in Firefox, what happens when you click on present? Just look at my entire screen right now. When I click on present, a new window appears as a magic in front of me. And I have freedom to control this window to the size I want. Okay. And I can just go back to Meet and I keep my Meet on top and move to the presentation. So on side, you can see on side panel, you can see all of them are visible. So if I keep my chat on, I will come to know what is happening in my chat, right? So I'll just play around with my question like this, and I can keep asking students, and their chat window will show me the answers. And once all of them finish with their answer, I disclose my answer like this, right? So this is one of the way you can exercise while asking question answers.
Sir, so in this way, for the children, the screen will be complete.
Yes.
It will be a full screen for the children.
Not complete screen. For them also, it will be a similar kind of screen. But while presenting, you will be presenting a window. Right now, I am presenting full screen. You will be presenting a window. So on the viewing area, they will be able to see the complete area filled with your slide. And the side panel will carry the chat so that they can write answers and you can also see and they can also see that.
Can we not do it with Google Chrome? We can open 2 Google Chrome windows and do the same thing?
No, actually, as soon as you will present, there is a difference. Right now, what you're doing, you are presenting to them like this. When you're presenting to them like this, okay, then you are keeping your Meet on the side. Okay, but when you are presenting the full window, as soon as you click on present, if I click on present, it will fill the entire screen of the teacher.
Okay.
Okay, it is not customizable. You can't resize it because it will fill the entire screen of yours. Whereas the students will be having freedom to chat. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the difference between the two.
No, when we, sir, once again, when we share, when you say presenting, तो वहाँ पे 2 विंडो खुलता है, तो वहाँ पे हम अपना सेकंड गूगल क्रोम वाले विंडो पे क्लिक करके शेयर करें तो आ जाता है।
नहीं, लेकिन वो आपकी इस स्क्रीन में आता है, प्रेजेंट करने के बाद नहीं आएगा। जैसे ही आपने प्रेजेंट पे क्लिक कर दिया ना, then it is going to be showing the entire screen will be filled with that.
Okay,
I'll show you that also.
If I don't click on present, तो छोटा ही दिखेगा क्या?
हाँ, तब तो छोटा ही दिखेगा। आप ये देखो, अब मैं इस विंडो को बाहर निकाल रहा हूँ यहाँ से। You can see my screen. I am just dragging this window out. So this is my separate Chrome. This is what you are talking about. Okay, I can decrease the size of this. Fine, I can decrease the size of this, and I can keep my Meet along with it. But this is going to not allow me present. As soon as I'll click on present, it will come on the full screen. At present, it is a different mode.
So can I not drag the other screen and keep it on the side? We can have both the screens side by side.
See, right now you can see that I have kept my both the screens side by side.
Yeah.
But this is not present mode. This is displaying my entire content of the slide, question as well as answer at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Have you understood?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Rima.
Yeah, I also had a query, sir. When I go present, I have Mozilla Firefox. So when I go on present, when I click on enter, I don't get the next slide automatically. It freezes. So if I'm showing slide number 2, it freezes on slide number 2. So then I have
Don't press enter. In place of
Okay.
pressing enter, press front arrow and back arrow to control your slides.
Okay, acha, theek hai.
Front arrow to move to the next slide,
Okay.
back arrow for going to the previous slide.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right?
Sir, if
Okay.
we have Google Chrome, do we have to download Mozilla from somewhere?
Yes, you can download Mozilla also. You can have multiple browsers on your system. There is no problem. You can have Edge,
Okay.
you can have Mozilla Firefox, you can have Chrome, all of them together.
All right. I'll just do